Brown, to the other elected officials, to London's family, especially her mother, Priscilla Breed, and certainly to all of you. What a beautiful day and a great occasion. I'm extremely honored to stand before you in the South Light Court here in City Hall because the address of this great building is a tribute to my late great mentor, the legendary owner and publisher of the Sun Reporter newspaper, Dr. Carlton B. Goodman. Dr. Goodman was a frequent visitor here, meeting with the mayors and sometimes protesting right out in front against injustice and for the rights of the disadvantaged and to bring about change. So thanks to Dan Mayor Brown for making City Hall's official address 1 Dr. Carlton B. Goodman Place. And it's with that same courage and commitment to change that we still carry on at the Sun Reporter today. We embraced the London Breed candidacy and told her story over and over again. Supervisor-elect Breed's election at first was an improbable one, but with courage and hard work, London demonstrated it certainly was not an impossible one. And so we gather here this morning to salute and celebrate Supervisor-elect Breed, who was born and raised in District 5, who was educated there, worked there, served there, and pumped new life into the African American arts and culture complex, serving the youth as a and being a voice for change. Today, the London Breed story continues as she is sworn in as a member of the Board of Supervisors to advocate for the district and for a better San Francisco for all. Yes, an improbable journey, but certainly not an impossible one. Thank you again, London Breed. I am extremely honored to present San Francisco's darling, who keeps going higher and higher and higher. California Attorney General Kamala Harris. And Supervisor-elect London Breed.
Well, good morning, San Francisco. It was such a part of the tradition of our wonderful city and county that everyone joined in that beautiful song to support our youth and to, in that support, encompass the spirit that we all have of just being so proud to be a part of this city and its leadership, and certainly everyone in this room can own that claim. As I look around the room, I could talk about people for hours, but I will not. I am so proud to be able to swear in London Breed this morning. I have known her for so long. I mean, I remember back in the days when she was working out at Treasure Island for Anne Marie. I remember the days that she was working so hard in our little campaign headquarters out in the Bayview after I filed to run for DA back in 2002. I remember when she started her leadership of the African American Arts and Cultural Complex, going in there with an incredible amount of pride as a daughter of that district, knowing what it could be, holding herself, that community, and that complex to the highest standards, knowing that that's what we expected and what we deserved. She has been an incredible leader in this city and county, dedicated in her public service, and always being an example of the best of our city and county. And so we rightly elected her. Board of Supervisors, which, as we know, and I can look around the room again and refer to many past and present members of that great board. The San Francisco Board of Supervisors represents leadership for this entire state. The work that comes out of this Board of Supervisors is a model for not only the state, but the entire United States of America. So when London is now going to be sworn in to this great institution, she will be a continuing part of its great history. And we should also take particular pride in the fact that she is one of the few members of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors who was born in the district she served. So with that,
I, London Breed,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
and
that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter, and during such time as I hold the offices of member of the Board of Supervisors and member of the Transportation Authority of the City and County of San Francisco.
But I want to start by acknowledging my families who's here, my mother, Priscilla Breed, my aunt, Linda Davis, my uncle, Charles Davis, my grandmother's sisters here, my aunt Lavinia, my sister Hattie and Camellia, and my brother Paul, and my niece Heaven. Can you all please stand? Don't mess with me. Y'all see how big my brother is? I'd also like to acknowledge my family members who couldn't be here today, my brother Napoleon Brown, and my late sister Shanti Breed. And I must thank the person who is perhaps most responsible for me being here today. The woman who made me into the woman I am, my grandmother, Camellia Brown. I want to thank the elected official family who's here today. Thank you all so much for being here. Mr. Mayor, thank you for opening up the House to me. Mayor Brown, thank you so much for being here today. Senator Leland Yee, the list goes on. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm so honored to have you present here today. A very special thank you to my, what I call small council, the people who have been with me from day one, who thought it was impossible but stuck by my side anyway. Jari Bolander, Ted Lowenberg, Gabriel Zitrin, Francie Covington, Matthew Rothschild, and did I leave anybody? Connor Johnston. Thank you all so much. And to the best campaign team that money can buy, right? Maggie Muir and Maureen Irwin, Marjan Philhauer, Ahmed El-Najjar, and Dirk Butler, thank you all so much for working so hard for this campaign. And finally, to my mentors, you guys back there still? These two ladies, Attorney General Kamala Harris and Amelia Ashley Ward, are true inspiration. They taught me by example the true meaning of courage, thank you both, so much for standing by my side through this incredible journey. I couldn't have done it without you. So thank you. I could go on and on, but I'm going to stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a true honor to stand before you as a member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors representing District 5. By the responsibilities the voters have instilled in me, and I am also humbled by the challenges, and I am ready to attack those challenges head on. I plan to be an active supervisor, a relentless advocate for the constituents of our district and the constituents of our city. And you may have noticed that I am no shrinking violet. And I won't be either when it comes to my duties as a member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. The people of District 5 deserve no less. The people of San Francisco deserve no less. I know because I've lived here my whole life. I've seen it. I've watched it, what goes on out there. I've seen the need, and I plan as supervisor to do something about it. I grew up in the Western Addition. When I was a kid, I lived in Plaza East Public Housing, just a mile away from here, a mile or so. And I can tell you back then it was no walk in the park, and over 18 years later, since my family and I were displaced, it still isn't. I know firsthand what it's like to grow up in a community rocked by violence, held down by unemployment, held back by neglect. I've lost friends, I've lost family to gunfire, to drugs, to hopelessness. I can tell you what it's like to try to do your homework where people are arguing right outside your window. I can tell you what it's like to try and share a family meal only to be interrupted by gunfire, hoping that it wasn't your brother who got shot. I know the kids who are in trouble, who seem destined to create more trouble. I grew up with them, and I've spent the last 15 years trying to reach them. I know the guys who hang out on the corners with no job prospects and none on the way. You know that housing project is only a mile away from this beautiful building where we are standing here today, but in some ways it's worlds apart. San Francisco is a prosperous city, a wealthy city, a city of culture, of beauty, and it's a place of opportunity. I'm proof of that. But that's not all San Francisco is. San Francisco is a crazy quilt of neighborhoods, of communities, of people living all sorts of lives. And some of those lives aren't always beautiful. They aren't always culture, and definitely aren't always prosperous. We need people in this beautiful building who remember there are still places where people are living their lives in danger, where people are suffering, where people are in need. And that is why I ran for supervisor. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." I believe that we need to be aware of that injustice, aware of the poverty, aware of the violence, aware of the danger that exists just a few blocks from where we are now. That's injustice over there. And we need to recognize that it's a threat to all of us. And I plan to do something about it as a member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. I stand before you today on the shoulders of giants. The likes of Terry Francois, of Doris Ward, of Willie B. Kennedy, of Sophie Maxwell, of Dr. Carlton B. Goodland, Amelia Ashley Ward, of Willie Brown, of Amos Brown, of Kamala Harris, and by many of you in this room. But my way was also paved by those whose names have never been in lights. Those unknown heroes and heroines, those role models, those mothers, those fathers, those aunts, those grandmothers who helped raise a community, who helped lift us up. That's who I owe this moment to. And for those folks who never made it, those kids whose dreams dissolved or who didn't live long enough to see the light, I owe it to them to get the work done. I stand on the shoulders of giants. But you never heard of some of these giants. I was raised by people who didn't have a whole lot of money, but they had a whole lot of character and they had a whole lot of heart. And they taught me first to respect myself and to better myself, which is why I went to college and got my degree. And they taught me second to respect my fellow human beings and to improve my community. I was raised to believe that public service was a good thing, a noble calling. And so I spent a decade and a half working in the community trying to help people, especially the kids. These kids need us. They need a break from the darkness all around. They need a ray of light, a beacon of hope. I'm proud to say that's what the African American Art and Culture Complex in the Western Addition has become. It's a beacon of hope for the community, and I'm proud to have served there as the executive director for the past 10 years. It's about the arts, but it's so much more. My staff and I worked hard to help people in the Western Addition, particularly the young people. Help them stop for a moment to enjoy the moments of beauty in the arts, to come out from the cold, to feel safe, and in the environment to slowly, surely recognize and seize the opportunities that exist all around them. The opportunities that I was so fortunately able to grab hold of. So as your supervisor, I will take up an agenda that prioritizes opportunity. Opportunity for a good job. Opportunity for a safe place to live. Opportunity to live with dignity. We need help. We need to help people find dignity in a job. Find the confidence and the security that comes with opportunity. That's why we need to go beyond local hire, beyond apprenticeship programs, beyond job placement. We have young people in our community who aren't even ready for job training. We need to start before entry level. And then we need to see them through a meaningful process. We have some wonderful programs in this city, and as supervisor, I plan to build on them. I want to create connections of opportunity, where we actually see people connected to training, connected to jobs, connected to housing. I want to see a direct connection between graduating from a San Francisco high school and working in the San Francisco police or fire departments. By connecting our affordable housing initiatives to people who already live here. There are people in public housing who are ready to go to the next level. We can keep them in San Francisco by giving them priority when we develop new affordable housing, home ownership opportunities in this city. We have a great police department in this city, and I want to help them do their job by making our communities healthier and less dangerous. The lack of opportunity, the lack of hopelessness, that's what threatens public safety. The solution isn't keeping poor people isolated in pockets of the city or pricing them out of San Francisco. The solution is to expand economic and social opportunities for everyone in the city. So that's how I approach my job. My agenda isn't moderate or progressive. It's about real people and real life, to help the residents in Coal Valley and the Inner Sunset catch the in Judah to get to their jobs downtown on time, to help the Lower Haight merchant keep their business open, to keep the streets of the Haight-Ashbury safe and clean, to maintain emergency response times in the Western Addition, to revitalize the Fillmore District the same way we've been able to revitalize the Divisadero Corridor, to give back to this city that has given so much to me, while at the same time making sure City Hall doesn't forget about the city I knew, the city I grew up in. And I assure you, I will be an independent voice for the residents of District 5. I follow my own conscience, just as I honor my grandmother, those aunts and uncles and mothers and fathers, those heroes that helped me get here in the first place. And those kids who never made it, that's who I have to answer to. District 5 doesn't need ideology, it needs opportunity. And I come ready and willing to do this job just for all of you and the resident, not just for all of you and the residents of District 5, but the entire city and county of San Francisco. Another thing Dr. King said, the time is always right to do what's right. Well, it's my time. And with your support and your help, that's exactly what I intend to do. Thank you all again so much for